not how we wanted to perform. While at the same time, you got to compliment those guys because it unfolded in the manner in which they desired for it to. And oftentimes in games like this, man, the teams that win, the game unfolds more to their personality than the opponent. And no question, the game unfolded in the manner in which we talked about the style of play that they like to play. As far back as I talked to you guys on Tuesday, I thought they did a really good job of staying on schedule on offense and being in manageable third downs that allowed them to win enough of those third downs or to reduce you in those circumstances where you can't create splash. On the other side of the ball, we didn't win enough possession downs to be competitive, man. You can't start games, take 0-5 on third down and think that you're going to have the type of day that you desire. You got to win the weighty down.
Hey, you blink, I'll cut your eyelids off. Don't you blink. I got you. Let's go.
And there you hear from Coach Mike Tomlin following from a disappointing, colossal of a loss, a beatdown by the San Francisco 49ers to open things up here. The Steelers had their first home opener in over 8 years and did not look pretty on all fronts, but that is what it is right now. Steelers did give up 30 points in that game defensively, and disappointing to see Kenny Pickett being turnover prone right out of the gate in the first game of the season after having such a profound, perfect passer rating throughout the preseason. And clearly, the Niners, they threw the knockout punch on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first half early, and the Steelers could not find any answers. Good evening, everybody. Once again, I'm Charles Prodigy Richey here on the Mass Steel podcast. We're doing this edition here of Show Blitz here of the post-game show going into it right now. And a lot of things I was just looking, scratching my head at this game, like watching, and where I saw a lot of noticeable differences in this game right here. The 49ers would just prove to be a well-oiled machine, just showing you the reason why they were like the top two seeds in the NFC last year. Now, of course, they had to go on the road to the Philadelphia where their Super Bowl journey would come to an end. But you look at how everything they went all in for a guy like Christian McCaffrey, and then still has solid backup plans behind Trey Lance, who's now with the Dallas Cowboys as their third string guy. You had Jimmy Garoppolo fill in up until around November, I want to say, and then he got hurt. And then Brock Purdy right here, Mr. Irrelevant. He's playing pretty good right now, no pun intended. But you look at how the genius of Coach Kyle Shanahan, unfortunately, the Steelers have not clearly come all that prepared if you really look at. And the big thing that really stood out, my biggest takeaway too on this game right here, when you look at it, I mean, it was just really a thud right there. I mean, like you look at a lot of these first down plays by the San Francisco 49ers right here. Their first, second down plays where they're getting anywhere from like 6-7 yards throughout most of this game. I mean, take for example, the beginning of the second quarter, when you look at it, Brock Purdy had a deep pass middle to Deebo Samuel to the Pittsburgh 17 for 22 yards. And right there, that'd be lead to a touchdown drive right there when you look at it. And it would put them up 17-0 in that game right there. And it was just crazy how things unfolded here. I mean, also too, before we go a little further too, we had some breaking news that was announced a little over almost 4 hours ago, that Steelers defensive captain Cam Heyward, he'll have to undergo surgery to repair an injured groin this Wednesday. He is expected to miss up to 8 weeks per sources. Sustained the injury versus Niners, and this came around the first quarter when he was trying to rush Brock Purdy, so he's gonna be gone for pretty much half the season right now. And I know Steelers were one of the teams rumored as a long shot to get a guy like Aaron Donald. I don't know if that's still doable right now at this point. It seemed like it kind of died away during throughout camp in the preseason. And because you never know with the LA Rams right now, what's going on with them. Because another rumored destination too that could make a lot of sense is the Browns put him up there with a solid defensive front with Miles Garrett right there, and they did a nice beat down yesterday against Cincinnati Bengals in the dog pound right there. Who Joe Burrow, who just got a nice $255 million extension, and you look at it right there, and about $219 million guaranteed. The Browns, I'm telling you right now, I think they got a team right now. You look at how they're doing right now, building around Deshaun Watson, the bit the bullet with all the controversy surrounding him. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, look at this right there. I mean, you still had Nick Chubb who had a solid day, 106 yards rushing. Uh, Deshaun Watson now, his day wasn't all that rosy. He ended the day with a 67.3 rating, but 65.9 QBR, which is barely moving the needle right there. I mean, other than that, I mean, just defensively, just really guy after Joe Burrow right here. I mean, you saw it right there in that game that was going on throughout the day. Miles Garrett had a sack with two total tackles, tackle for loss, and four quarterback hits. So it definitely got in Joe Burrow's face and held him down, held him to 67 net yards passing, where he got sacked twice for 15 yards. He would finish the day with 52.2 QB rating and a 20.4 QBR. And that's going to be the Steelers' next opponent right now. And I picked this team to go anywhere from 10-7 to 11-6. But right now, that number looks like it may go down a few notches. I won't be surprised if we might see him right back in the same situation as last year, 9-8 possibly. I mean, do not be surprised. This is not started off as rosy. It almost kind of has like a Ben Roethlisberger type of feel, except that Cam Heyward is not out for the season, but it's still enough chunk of time right now. And where you had TJ Watt, I mean, missed for nearly half the season last year as well with the pec injury right there. So I mean, you think about it right now, I mean, they got fortunately they'll be at home next Monday night when they host the Cleveland Browns. That'll be on ABC. And then they gotta go on the road to Vegas to host the Raiders. I mean, to play the Raiders in Vegas, excuse me. The Raiders will be hosting them at Legion Stadium. I expect that will probably be a little bit more of a different outcome. And the Raiders, I could see them probably win this game at this point right now. So Cam Hayward definitely was, an impactful player in that game when they won, honoring Franco Harris, the late Franco Harris right there. So you really got some things to think about right now. Remember, their bye week comes in week 6 right now will be their bye. That'll be after they play the first half of their head-to-head matchups versus the Ravens. That game will be on CBS on October 8th. And then coming out of that bye, they'll travel West Coast to take on Sean McVay and the LA Rams right there at SoFi Stadium. So definitely really like to hear what your thoughts are on the season right now. Definitely a rocky start to say the least, especially with Kenny Pickett. I mean, when you really think about it too, I mean, this offseason, as we all document right here, I mean, he had a perfect QB rating going 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions to finish it out. And you look at yesterday's loss right there, just disappointing to see where he was to kick things off right there. He went 31 to 46 for 232 yards, which netted out to 198 yards, being sacked 5 times for 34 yards. And that was just a bad day at the office right there. Now, I will say this too. I do kind of question some of the play calling, a little bit of the balance, but I think they had no choice but to go in these quick 2-minute drills or these quick passing situations when they're being hammered. I mean, think about it. I mean, you're down 17 zip. I mean, early second quarter right there. And just for everything that just went down, I mean, the 2 interceptions were just definitely crucial The big letdown by the Steelers when you think about it. And as a result of those turnovers right there, when you look at it, I mean, for the most part, I mean, the 49ers got 6 points off of two turnovers by the end of the day. So that's the killer thing. I mean, fortunately, it was not touchdowns, but I mean, at the most part, the 49ers didn't really have to break a sweat when it came to uh, making like a just controlling the tempo of the game. I mean, you saw how it translated at the end of the day. I mean, just look at just time of possession, which was insane. They controlled the ball more by over 15 minutes. They controlled the ball for over 37 minutes in this contest right here, and just wiped the mat with the Steelers right there in the rush game once again. So run defense is definitely going to be an obvious concern right here. 188 yards off the ground for 5.5 yards off of 34 carries. Steelers only have 41 yards off of 10 carries, 4.1 yards per attempt. Now, the problem was, though, you look at that number right there, a key thing right here, and Matt Canada's play calling, which we'll get to in just a second, as his tenure as the offense core there. But 34 rushing attempts to the Steelers' 10 yesterday. But again, a lot of it, though, was because of the big splash plays they're giving up on defense. You're not going to really have a real easier day at the office right there when you got to be defending a lot more third and shorts in these contests right here. I mean, basically, and it just really was sickening. I mean, how many you had to, I mean, defend throughout this game right here. And it was just, I mean, they didn't really have to convert a lot of third downs, but at the end of the day, I mean, they caught the Steelers napping. I would have to say. I'm not saying that this team was not prepared and practicing throughout the preseason. I thought they had an excellent preseason. Training camp borderline. I mean, I think we call it like right down the middle on that one. I mean, of course, with the defense winning a lot of those 7-shot drills, but I mean, it was just heartbreaking to see start off out of the gate. Again, it's just only just one game, but it's still in the end for right now. It's going to be a common opponent with their teams in the division. Once again, you guys can follow me on social media. You can follow me and see all my Twitter X content at MetaSteelCGR and on Instagram at MetaSteelNation. And make sure to hit subscribe and check out my YouTube channel, MetaSteel Podcast. Just definitely got some more stuff to get into right here. But let's keep on script right now. So the Steelers, they only converted a third of their third downs in this game, going 5 of 15. As I mentioned too, Pickett, for the most part, like I said, he went 31 of 46. Very disappointing right there. See that. But you look at some of the other stuff though too that Brooke Pryor pointed out though too, as far as like the snap counts going this game. George Pickens and Allen Robinson played the most snaps of the Steelers with 54 snaps each, about 89%. Najee Harris had about 53%. Jalen Warren, 39. Anthony McFarland, 8. Darnell Washington, 24 snaps completed. I mean, so there you go right there. And then also, too, on the defensive side for the snap counts, you had Joey Porter Jr. in this game, who played just 7 defensive snaps, while Patrick Pearson and Levi Wallace each played 65 snaps, 98.5%, about 99%, excuse me. Larry Ogunjobi, 41. DeMarvin Leal, 25. Then inside linebackers, Cole Holcomb, 52. Quan Alexander, 45. And then Landon Roberts, 28, who I thought had a good game earlier on. I thought he was doing his job right there, especially on that 3rd and 1 stop. But unfortunately, it was still 4th and 1 right there early in the first quarter where they did make the Steelers pay. And Dale Lally, credit to him, one of the big keys of the game that I kept thinking about this as I kept watching this game. They could not defend the middle of the field in this game. 49ers controlled it, and yet they took it away from the Steelers at the same time. throughout this game here, and it's just sickening. But I mean, like Atlanta Rabbits, I think played good, but for right now, I mean, if you're gonna ask me for players of the game, I'm gonna have to go with T.J. Watt, who had all the team sacks with three, five total tackles, a tackle for loss, pass deflection, and five quarterback hits. And with those three sacks, he now ties James Harrison for the franchise lead in sacks. He'll just need another half a sack uh, to pass him for the Steelers' all-time franchise sack leader right there. So right there, I mean, just goes to show you what a game record TJ Watt continues to be as long as he continues to stay healthy. That's going to be the thing right now because you got Cam Heyward right now who's going to be out. And you take a look at the depth chart right now on the Steelers, who they got left to be filling in on the defensive front, which is going to be really interesting right now because behind Cam Heyward, you still got Isaiah Loudermilk, Aaron Watts, and then also DeMarvin Leal potentially, who's backing up Larry Ogunjobi on defensive end, and then Montravius Adams right now. So Ogunjobi and Adams are definitely going to be the key guys to watch out for. Maybe DeMarvin Leal, I would see be inserted in there, but yeah, this is been a disappointing loss. Thankfully, it's only week one, but offense who really had nothing much to show for it. But for them to give one game ball to the offense, even though it may not be deserved, but I'm gonna just go and just say who stood off. I'm just talking about for players of the game of the Steelers, just to be clear. I'll give it to A-Rob, Allen Robinson, who caught 5 of 8 targets for 64 yards with the team. He had the longest catch for 31 yards. Unfortunately, it was in garbage time with 3:09 remaining in the game. So back to the offensive play calling. Matt Canada right now. They have now played 35 games under Matt Canada. 36. I mean, if you count the one playoff loss they last had to the Kansas City Chiefs, which was in the wild card round, the offense has failed to produce over 20 points in regulation, and not only that, when it came to 27 points or more, I mean, right now they only did that 5 times, 27 points or more in the last three, two prior seasons under Canada, with 3 of those coming in 2021, which Ben Roethlisberger had to pretty much tune out Matt Canada in his helmet and call plays on the field right there. But right now, Kenny Pickett saying that he was quoted as saying, "I think it was more us than them." Pickett did not mean that as an indictment of the offense in general, rare as an explanation of why the Steelers and he performed so poorly against the Niners, but he was probably right on both fronts. The only time they showed any semblance of having an offense came on that final possession of the first half when Pickett, with a minute 35 remaining, moved the Steelers 95 yards and 12 plays with no timeouts. His 3-yard touchdown pass into a tight window to tight end Pat Freiermuth with 10 seconds remaining was probably his best throw of the game. And Pat Freiermuth did not have much of a rose game at all either. He had only 4 targets. He only caught 1 of them, 3 drops. So 1 reception for 3 yards and the only touchdown reception for the pass catching as we look at it. And definitely can't wait to see how everything shakes up heading into practice reports coming up right now. Just definitely a bummer right now. Cam Heyward, who's going to be out 8 weeks now. And you also had DeMarvin Leal yesterday in that game who was dealing with an elbow injury. But, yeah, definitely very – I guess you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable at this point, as they say. But anyway, I mean, the offense right now, I mean, you look at a guy like Brock Purdy and, like, his story right now. This guy just continues to just he's still undefeated as a starter right now. I mean, in his debut as a quarterback for the 49ers, I mean, when you look at everything, and Brock Purdy, who came in his debut game with the 49ers last year, which came in week 13. No, week 14 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which they blew him out. Tom Brady has returned back to his hometown, 35-7 right there. And he is now on a 6-game winning streak. And then that includes 9 in or 8 in the playoffs, excuse me. 8 right now. I mean, and this guy just continues just do well right now. But I mean, how much is that Brock Purdy? I mean, but more so the offensive genius of Kyle Shanahan. I probably have to still give a slight edge to Kyle Shanahan, despite the fact that he was still the same guy that was electing not to run the ball when you had leads late in the Super Bowl right there, the 25-point lead against the Patriots. And then in the fourth quarter, when you're up by 10 points over the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 54. But I mean, other than that, I mean, he knows his stuff. I mean, he knows how to dial things up right now. And you look at everything right now, like what Purdy is doing, who at this point in his career is completing 67% of his passes with 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, with a career QB rating of 107.9. And you look at a guy like Kyle Shanahan, if you want to break down a real difference real quick, like say between Kyle Shanahan and Matt Canada right now. I mean, who's just been clearly awesome right now at this point with the 49ers. And he's just been kept his team, his offensive ranks in the top 10 as 49ers coach at least 3 times out of his 7 seasons. So more than at least halfway right now. Now you look at Matt Canada right now, his offensive ranks right now in terms of points. For the most part, when you look at, he is about 25th average right now, and about 28th in points. I mean, 28th in total yards right now, which is severely disappointing, to say the least. Canada right now, I mean, you gotta imagine Mike Tomlin is not too pleased with the execution, some of the play calling. And unfortunately, as the season continues to drag on, I just don't want it to be another sideshow on Matt Canada why this team is struggling, because you know that's going to be coming. But I mean, a lot of it though too. You look at Kenny Pickett right there. He did not seem to be comfortable when under the pressure right there. When you get sacked like about up to 5 times, you're going to be a little bit rattled, and you're going to be trying to shake that off and like try to avoid not getting hit, I would imagine. But still, I mean, just a bad day at the office, to say the least, right now. Uh, and their largest input, as far as like Matt Canada, came in a loss. When you look at 41-37 to the Chargers in 2021. But again, that was when they only Rosberg was able to turn off his helmet, went to an old hello attack. And right now, it doesn't exist in Canada's offense. And I mean, the only other game I would probably think of too, where they scored a little bit more points, but they lost late in the game, where they scored 28 points to the Minnesota Vikings, and they were down by a whopping 29-0. And basically, the Steelers the rest of the way, they were able to outscore them 28-7, but still came up short, losing that game 36-28 in the end. And it was just still embarrassing performance. And right now, too, gotta mix up the play calling, because I think Najee Harris, he didn't have that much of a bad game yesterday. I mean, you look at it right now, a guy who has not been able to crack the 4 yards per attempt. Well, surprisingly, he only had 6 carries, 31 yards, over 5 yards per attempt, 5.2. But again, when you're in a situation where you're giving up chunk plays as a defense, you're not going to be winning that many ball games right there. That's just the bottom line. So, like I said, injury news. Once again, Cam Heyward. He's going to be having surgery to repair an injured groin on Wednesday. He's expected to miss up to 8 weeks per sources. And don't forget, too, right now, Cam Heyward, who is still on his extension, he signed back in 2020. His new deal. He right now cap hit. he's accruing for up to like $22.25 million right now. And he's got one final year on his contract, which will be next season. And beyond that, you would think that he would retire or more likely play somewhere else. I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to re-sign with the Steelers on a 1-year deal or extra 2-year deal. We'll see. But I mean, he's gonna be 35 next year right there. And 22.4 cap charge for that. And just hopefully he continues to get well soon, but definitely not way to start the season anyway. So I mean, right now, like I said, you got the schedule right now. I'm gonna stick with 10-7 right now at the minimal, no more than 11 wins. But I mean, if injuries continue to pile on key ones, if you get TJ Watt hurt again or some other key players right there, don't be surprised if it's a 9-win season. But I'm gonna go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt. 10 wins at this point, to say the least. Definitely got some go back to the drawing board on this one, for sure. And also, once again, I just want to pay our guy a shout out, the voice of the Steelers. I had him on my guest at 2 times. First time in 4 years, I had him back on over a month ago. I mean, just to have him back on, I'm talking about none other than Mr. Bill Hillgrove right here, who came back to me on Wednesday, August 9th. We did a little Zoom interview. Congratulations on making it to your 30th season as a Steelers broadcaster, which is a record right now. He passes the late Jack Fleming right there, who did it for 28 seasons. Bill, I just want to just say, not only for the Steelers, but the Panthers and the city of Pittsburgh, you're truly a great and genuine man and a great ambassador to the city of Pittsburgh, as well as Panthers men's basketball. So that's going to do it for this edition here of Show Blitz, the Men of Steel podcast right now. We'll see if the Steelers can rebound right now. I mean, the good news for them, they've been doing great on games on Monday Night Football. I mean, which is encouraging. I mean, for right now, I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the most part, who last played on Monday Night Football back on November 28th, they beat the Indianapolis Colts. They got 52 wins all time. And it's been a long while since they lost at home on a Monday Night Football game in Pittsburgh. You have to go back as far as like the last loss that happened there was back in 1991 when they played the New York Giants, defending Super Bowl champions right there. But ever since then, they've been keeping that streak alive for the most part as we look at it. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks for joining me here. We'll be keeping it in tune. Wednesday, keep an update, close bird's eye view on the early practice reports as or maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I'm not sure. But we'll keep things posted. And other than that, you guys, once again, follow me and my Twitter X content at MetaSteelCGR and on Instagram at MetaSteelNation. So always leave it. Don't be trolling. Be rolling. Here goes, heroes. Here we go. I gone. Thank you for watching the Men of Steel podcast with your host, Charles Prodigy Richey, here on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And for all the latest Men of Steel podcast episodes, feel free to download them on Mixcloud, Anchor.fm, and SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts.